today we're going to do a gym-based session. So this is going to be strength-based, and it's going to focus on doing similar exercises to what you would ordinarily do if you do a gym-based workout. So whether we use the resistance machines or free weights, we want to stimulate the same type of workout that you would have if you were in the gym. So for this session, the equipment that you'll need 2 chairs. They need to be sturdy chairs, so not collapsible chairs, so ones that have 4 fixed legs. You need a 5-litre container. This is just a screen wash container. It's nearly full, but one larger container. I've got 2 drinks bottles. Again, these are just 500 mils. They weigh half a kilo each, so they're not particularly heavy. If you've got dumbbells at home, you need 2 dumbbells. Otherwise, you need 2 bottles. Have a size and a weight that you're happy to use for the workouts, the exercises. And then I've got 2 milk containers, obviously used, and I've filled these with water. They're full all the way to the top, but you could partially fill them depending upon how they feel and how you think you're going to be able to do the exercise today. So that's the equipment that you're going to need. Again, if you've got any kettlebells or if you've got any dumbbells at home that you can use those instead of what I've put together today. So to get us started, we'll just do a quick warm up just to get the muscles warm and to get the joints moving and nice and loose. So standing with your feet just outside of your hips, we're going to start with some hip circles. And go the opposite direction. Brilliant. Bringing your legs in, you're going to lift your knee up and back down. Do that 5 times on the one leg. And switch legs. And now tap behind you, so up. So just from side to side. Good. Okay. So circle your wrists. Stretch your fingers. And hands on shoulders. Circle our shoulders. And go forwards. Open out and then give yourself a hug. And go one high, one low. One high, one low. Arms down by your side and shrug your shoulders up and back. Back to hip circles. And the other way. Okay, we're going to raise our knee up and take our foot to the side so we can tap our foot. It's going to look like this. Good. Heel taps. loosen out the ankle. So go toe, the heel, toe, heel. And switch to the other leg. So up on the toe, down to the heel. Feet wide, hands on hips, and just turn. Do some rotations through the body. Leave one hand on your hip, other hand in the air, and just lean to the side and gently pulse. Switch to the other side. Excellent. Okay, give everything a shake. Make sure everything's nice and loose. Should be a little bit warm. The muscle should have warmed up and the joint should have warmed up. Okay, so we've got 8 exercises that we're going to do. With the exercises, we're going to do 3 sets of every exercise, but we're going to do different numbers of repetitions for the different exercises. So as we go along, I'll do the first set with you for all of the exercises, and then you're going to do sets number 2 and then set number 3 on your own. Okay, so the first one that we're going to do is a lunge, and you need to have your 2 milk bottles or your 2 smaller bottles. So I'm going to use the milk jug. Okay, I'll turn sideways so that you can see me, but you don't have to obviously turn the way that I am. So we need to get ourselves into that lunge position. So leg forward and leg at the back up onto our toes. So keeping everything facing forward, then all you're going to do is just drop down, almost in a squat, but we're going to drop down with the back knee and back up. You go down as far as you feel is comfortable. Make sure that this front knee doesn't go over your toe at the front. We don't want it to go over, we want to go down. This is the thing, we lunge down, not forwards. So we're going to do 8 with the leg, with this leg at the front. So off we go. Well done. Okay, switch those legs over now. So put the other leg forward, up onto the toes of the back leg. And then let's go down. We're going to do 8 on this leg. And stand it up. Okay. This is a really great exercise for the legs, for the upper leg strength. So for our quads, for our hamstrings, and for our glutes. So that was 1 set of 8 on each leg. You've now got 2 more sets of 8 on each leg to do. So if you do those, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, so the next exercise is a squat and press. So for this one, you're going to need a larger container. You can use one of the milk bottles we've been using for the lunges if that's going to be more manageable for you. And if you need to use the lighter ones, the smaller bottles, then you can use one of those, or you can use one in either hand. It's really up to you. So with this one, you're going to hold down at the top and underneath at the side. So we've always got our hand on the handle, okay, safety. So our feet are outside of our hips, so we don't want them to be too narrow. We need a good solid base, a good foundation to squat on. I'm just going to hold the container just at chest level so we can look over the top. You squat down, and then when we come back up, when we get to a standing position, we then press the weight overhead, and that's 1 repetition. So I'll show you what this looks like. So we go down, stand up, and press. Okay, we're going to do that for 8. Let's do these together. Excellent. Pop the weight down, have a rest. We want to rest, say 30 seconds we want to rest in between our sets. Take a drink if you need a drink, and then when you're ready, you've got 2 more sets of 8 squat and press to do. So you get on with those, then we'll move on to the next exercise. Remember to pause the video in between so you can do your sets and your reps as we move through. Okay, so moving away from the legs, you'll be glad to hear. And now we're going on to some upper body work. So the next exercise is upright row. This is great for the back, but it also works our shoulders as well. I'm going to use the milk cartons for this, but you can use the smaller bottles if that's what you feel comfortable with. And if you want to take some of the water out of the milk bottles, then you can do that as well. So I'm holding the milk bottles at an angle, and I'm holding them by the handles. So my hand is in a fist position in the handle, and I have my palms facing towards my legs. So my palms are towards me, not against me. So palms down. Feet are wide, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to raise my elbows to the side, and in doing so, it raises the bottles up. So let me show you. Okay, that's an upright row. Now we want to do 12 of these. Okay, so do them nice and controlled. No bouncing with your arms. Don't use your legs, and keep everything nice and upright. Your back nice and upright. All your midline engaged when we do these. So we're going for 12. Let's go. Last one. Excellent. That's 12. That's our upright row. You've got 2 more sets of 12 to do. Remember, take your rest in between. Take a drink if you need one. Give yourself 20 to 30 seconds, and then do the next set. Remember to stop the video if you need to, so you can do the set and then catch up for the next exercise. Okay, next exercise is a floor press. So for this, we're actually going to be on the floor, lying with our knees bent. Okay, and we're going to use the two smaller bottles. You could use the milk jugs, but I would use the smaller bottles to start, and then when you get used to the movement, you can use a slightly different one. Again, if you've got dumbbells, you can go ahead and use dumbbells. So for this exercise, we lie down on our back and we have our feet flat on the floor and our knees bent. If you need to put a pillow on the floor for your head, then you can put a pillow down, it's no problem. Okay, in this position, your hands, your elbows go out to the side. So we don't hold them close to our body, we take them up so our elbows are in line with our shoulders. And we hold the bottles in our hands. We're going to press upwards and then bring them back down. So I'll do 2 to show you. Okay, we actually want to do 15 of these, okay? So make sure you're looking up all the time, and then we're going to start and we'll go together. Okay, so eyes up, bottles ready, and off we go. Excellent, really good work. The bottles down, take your rest, and you have 2 more sets of 15 to do. If you do those sets, then we'll move on to the next exercise. Okay, for the next exercise, we're going to need our chairs. Initially, I'm going to set them up like this, and then I'm going to turn them around so you can see from the other direction as well. So I need to have enough distance between the chairs for my body. So you need to make sure that there's enough distance for you to move between them, okay? So you start by standing just in between the chairs, and then just bring your hands down onto the front of the chairs so your hands are wrapped over the front. We don't want to have our hands on the chair because this can put excessive pressure onto the wrist. So just hand wrapped over the front and our palm pressing into the front of the chair. From here, we're then going to just take our feet in front of us. And we'll start with our knees bent to begin with. From this position, we just dip our body down as far as is comfortable, and we have to press ourselves back up using our arms. So I'll show you again. Watch me do this. Okay, so I'm just using my arm to dip down and press. It's really important not to move your body forwards. Your body just moves down. Let me show you from the front. So find a comfortable place to put your hands. My feet are bent, and we're going to do between 6 and 8 repetitions. So off we go. That's 8. Well done. So make sure you sit and rest in between these. This exercise really targets the shoulders and the tricep, which is behind the upper arm. It can really burn the muscle because it's not a very big muscle, so it fatigues really quickly. Now this exercise can put quite a lot of pressure on your wrists, so make sure do your wrist circles, stretch your fingers, give them a shake, keep the blood flowing to the area. Okay, you've got 2 more sets to do where you're aiming to get 6, and then if you can, trying to push it to 8. So between 6 and 8 repetitions for the next 2 sets. So you do those, and I'll get ready for the next exercise. Okay, so we're now looking to do a hammer curl. It's a little bit like a bicep curl, but our hands are in a different position. We're going to use, I use the smaller bottles, but you could use the milk jugs if that's going to give you a better workout. So you decide on that. So, bottles in hand. Now, they start down by our sides, and our palm is facing towards the leg. So this is a hammer curl where the palms are facing inwards. With a bicep curl, the palms are facing outwards. So that's the key difference for you in terms of position. So palms inwards, and we're going to raise the weight up to our shoulder and alternate the hands. So it looks like this. Let me turn sideways and you can see it from the side. So up to our shoulder and down. We want to do a set of 20. That's 10 for each arm. Okay? And you're going to do 3 sets of these. So standing, make sure your feet are wide. So you've got a good base to stand on. And let's get ourselves ready. Off we go. Let's do 20. Fantastic. That's a set of 20 done. Got 2 more sets of these to do. I'll do 1 more set with you, and I'll do the milk jugs to show you how we can do it with the milk jug. Basically exactly the same. So you're going to hold the handles, palms towards you. I go sideways. And raising the arm up, but obviously you just need to watch because of the shape and the position of the milk of the jug. So another set of 20. Let's go. Fantastic. So you can still use a slightly heavier container, but make sure it comes up and it just stays upright and then back down. So you've got 1 more set of 20 that you are going to do. You get on with those, and then we'll get on to the next exercise. Okay, so moving on. Got 2 more exercises to do. The next exercise is a lateral raise. So lateral is a sideways movement. So we're going to stand, make sure your feet are outside of your hips, and we're going to use the smaller bottles for these. So you've got your hands wrapped around the bottles, palms towards your legs, and all that we're going to do is keeping all of the midline nice and tight, raising our arms up to shoulder height and down. We want to aim to do between 8 and 10 of these. Again, they can fatigue very quickly because the muscles that we're using are quite small muscles in comparison to like the leg muscles and the back muscles. So arms by your side and let's go. Excellent, that was a set of 10. So 2 more sets. If these are relatively easy for you to do using these, they can be quite difficult to do with the larger containers. So keep with these bottles, but do more repetitions in more sets. Okay, so you've got 2 more sets to do. You're aiming for between 8 and 10. So you get those done, and then we're going to move on to the last exercise. Okay, well done. So the last exercise, we're taking it back down to the floor, and this is an exercise which is for the midline. So for the abdominals, the obliques, and for the lower back. So our whole core is going to get worked with this particular one. It's a Russian twist. For today's exercise, I'm going to use this container, but you could use one of your water bottles, or you could just do it with body weight if that's going to be easier for you to do. Doesn't matter, it's all an individual choice. Okay, so I'll show you from the front, and then I'm going to position myself sideways so you can see how I look from the side as well. So I'm on the floor, my heels are onto the floor. So initially when we do this exercise, we're going to keep our feet on the floor. But then as we get better and we progress, we're going to look at raising our feet off the floor. But to start, we're going to keep the heels on the floor, knees bent, and then holding onto the container. So the container is going to be held at the top in one hand and just supported at the bottom with the other. And the idea is that I'm going to lean back and I'm going to use the container and just twist my body from side to side, taking the container from my right to my left, and then back to my right. So feet on the floor, leaning backwards, and I'm going to twist to the side. Let me turn sideways so you can see me. So stay on the floor. Make sure that there's nothing behind you, so make sure you've moved the chairs so that you don't bang your head. So heels on the floor, holding onto the container, and I'm just going to lean back. When I lean back, it engages all of this midline, so it makes it work. Hold onto the container, and I'm going to go to the side, taking the container over. Now, you don't have to tap the container onto the floor. You just need to take it over, you'll feel it working. So you're going to do a set of 15 twists. We'll do those together and then you'll move on to do the second 2 sets yourself. Ready? Off we go. And relax. So, as you progress through these, when you do these at home, you may find that they start to become a little bit easier. So what we don't want to do is to get a heavier object. What we want to do is try to do them and take our off the floor. So if I hold on to the container, I take my feet back, I'm going to put one on top of the other, and I'm going to raise them up off the floor. I'm going to do the same exercise but by keeping my feet off the floor, I put a greater emphasis on the midline to stay engaged and to work. Okay, so you've got 2 more sets of those to do. If you do those 2 more sets, again aiming for the 15 twists, and then that's the workout's finished. So you get those done. Okay, excellent. Right, we want to do a cool down now. So grab yourself a drink. Make sure that you've cleared the equipment to the sides and you've got some areas so we can do some stretching and we can bring our heart rate down and ease out those muscles. Okay, so let's get standing. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to do a side bend. Just work those obliques and the abdominals. So just outside of your hips, one hand on your hip, raise your other hand up and lean to the side. So I'm currently stretching the side, just stretch through from where we've worked the midline. Okay, and switch to the other side. Stand, well done. Okay. Step back with one leg. Then we're going to push our hips back and put our hands on to the bent leg. Good, and switch sides. I'm going to go to the side so you can see this. Step back, push your hips back and lean onto the bent leg. So I'm actually stretching the hamstring, which is the long muscle behind the leg which is straight. Good job. Okay, step forwards now and lean forwards. You can raise up onto your toe if you need to, but lean forwards. Try to keep the foot flat or press the heel down. And what you're doing is you're touching the calf, which is at the bottom part of the leg, in the leg that you are is at the back. Good. And switch those over. So step forwards, lean forwards, hands onto the bent leg. And standing up. Okay. Taking one arm out front, and you're going to bring it across your body and then hold on by the elbow and just pull the arm over. Make sure this arm and wiggling stays nice and straight. Try not to wrap it around your body. So you're actually stretching the back of the shoulder of the arm that is straight. Good. And switch those arms. So straight arm up, take it across and hold and pull. Okay, check those. Okay, you're going to interlock your fingers, and when they're interlocked, you're going to push them in front of you. And now we want to push and round our back to stretch the upper back. So push your hands away, try to push them as far away from you as you can, but keeping them interlocked. And relax. Now interlock your hands behind you, press them down and squeeze your shoulder blades together. So puff your chest out, squeeze your shoulder blades together, push your hands down. So now we're stretching the chest. Good, and relax. Okay, so keep our feet apart. Just going to take our head to the side and place your hand on top of your head. Apply a small amount of pressure just to stretch through the neck. And switch sides. And then final one, chin onto your chest. Place your hands on the top of your head to stretch the neck and the upper back. And relax, we're all done. So remember, nice and cool down now, you've stretched out the muscles, so leave that for today. Make sure you drink lots of water to rehydrate the muscles and give yourself at least a day before you do any more of the strength-based workouts.